just make the last movie about, the toys seeing Andy again as like an old grandpa or something, and then like, oh my god, death. So we know that big name studios these days have been having like a streak on making sequels to movies that no one asked for, and or creating such a plot that makes absolutely no sense, that basically ruins the legacy of the carefully and beautifully crafted movies that have come before it. Some examples being Megamind 2, Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate, Kung Fu Panda 4, in my opinion. Basically, the majority of all the Toy Story movies after like the first one or two, because look, additional note, I am just so over all these Toy Story movies. Because it's the way it's been going on for like, nearly 3 decades at this point. And let's be honest, most kids don't even play with toys anymore. Like, all I want, honestly, is just make the last movie about, the toys seeing Andy again as like an old grandpa or something, and then like, oh my god, death. I don't know. I'm just tired of Toy Story movies coming out for no reason. Anyways, the Shrek 5 movie that's coming out in 2027, and by the way, what is up with studios telling us that, a movie's coming out in like 2 to 3 years in the future? Like, just tell me it's gonna come out in like a year or like this fall or something, because I just don't want to be doing the mental gymnastics of, oh my god, I'm gonna be this old, or I'm gonna be at this stage in life when it comes out. Oh my god, no. That sounds boring to me. By the time the movie will come out, I've probably honestly have already forgotten like the movie even existed, or like the trailers have come in. Like, I just forget about it. I'm not gonna wait that long for a movie. Also, Shrek 5, you're already running on thin ice with me, because with all the animation art style changes that no one asked for, honestly, I think the internet did its job with predicting the plot, because it did seem like it was kind of like, oh yeah, like this is how it's gonna be, Ice Age. Honestly, how did it go from mammoths and saber-tooth tigers out in the snow and family stuff to aliens and spaceships? Like, I remember I was kind of semi-watching the last movie that came out, and I'm just like, why the f*** is the squirrel guy out in space? Like, what the f*** was going on? Also, Sid's grandma, I f***ing love her. Oh, that scene where she kept getting struck by lightning and then I kept coming back, I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Also, justice for Lewis. Lewis was done dirty. But I digress, because what we need to do now is go back to the origin and see the beginning of why all these sequels began going wrong. Atlantis 2. We're starting with Atlantis 2. I know there's other bad sequels out there, but Atlantis 2 is a movie I have particular beef with. Why? Because one, I recently remember that it existed, and two, the way that movie was structured made absolutely no f***ing sense. I honestly would have rather it had never been made at all and like taint the memory of the first movie. Like, I mean it when I say that in comparison to the first movie, the quality went way down. And yes, I know it's because, originally it was going to be like a 4-episode TV series things, but Disney decided, for reasons that I will later discuss, that it was better to mash it all into one thing and call it a movie. Like, legit, that seems to be what they did, because there's such an awkward fluidity or lack of transitions in the scenes and everything. Let me now state my case on why there should have just not been a sequel to Atlantis: The Lost Empire. So, first of all, the Atlantis 2 that we know was originally not the actual sequel Disney had planned for, because apparently, according to Google, Atlantis: The Last Empire had flopped so badly in the box office back in 2001 that Disney was like, fuck, what are we gonna do? We already made like 3 episodes of like an Atlantis spin-off TV series, Team Atlantis, and we already had a sequel plot planned out. I know. Why don't we take the 3 episodes of the TV show, mash it into a quote unquote movie, and just completely trash the real plot of the sequel that actually had some sustenance? Like, I looked it up, and apparently, the actual sequel was gonna have like that. I forgot her name, but that blonde lady that I think fell into the lava, like, she was gonna like come back, but like, with like some powers or like some lava esque like characteristics and try to take over Atlantis. And they were gonna like, show how Kita has been doing as like the newly crowned queen of Atlantis. But no, they were like, trash. Nah. Like, at that point, if Disney didn't want to further invest into making the actual original sequel, they should have just shelved that TV mashup and left it in the vault, because honestly, it should just not have seen the light of day anymore. Because why would you ruin the wonderful world building that the first movie had set up and then give us like a bootleg version of Scooby-Dooby-Doo? Like, I mean, they even had like a pet mascot thing. Like, he's not a dog. What is he? Because in what world did y'all think that putting out a movie with 3 different villains all in there, 3 different plots going on, was gonna make sense to us? Because it didn't. It was giving me messy spaghetti. Viewers were confused. You were confused. I was confused. Yay! Also, personally, I felt like they did Kita's character dirty. Like, I would have liked them to expand more on her new life as like Queen of Atlantis. But no, instead it felt like they kind of dummied her down. Like, I just feel like the majority of the quote-unquote movie, she was oohing and ahhing at all this stuff on the surface world. And I get it. I mean, the girl has spent her whole life under the sea. Like, we all saw how Ariel reacted, right? Like, I'd be surprised too. But I just feel like in the first movie, Kita went through so much like growth and development, but by the time we got to the sequel, it just felt like they kind of stripped all that away and more and just reduced her to like a side character. When in reality, further diving into Kita's new role as Queen of Atlantis would have been the most logical next step in the story to make. Justice for Kita, honestly. And the last thing I want to mention is that like the first Atlantis movie definitely had more grit to it. Like, it was more dark and it felt like more was at stake. Like, I would be watching it and be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next kind of vibe. Like, it made me feel feelings. But with the second movie, I'll just say the animation quality was just throwing me off so badly. Like, it was giving like, oh my god, this is made for like some kiddie stuff in comparison to the first movie, which was a bit more dark and serious, gruesomeness. The drop in animation quality just didn't help. And again, I know it was originally supposed to be put out as a TV series, but I've said this once and I'll keep saying it again. Disney, you have the money for this. You could give the people what they want, the quality of art animation that we need, and paying your animators well. Especially with the way you guys keep raising the subscription prices for Disney Plus every year. Like, come on, I remember when it first came out, it was like $99, but now it's like, what, 100 something? So yes, Atlantis 2, Milo's Return. Was that the worst movie sequel to be made ever? Honestly, it's up for debate, because there's a lot of terrible movie sequels out there right now, so I definitely have a lot of material to work with. And yes, this is just something I want to get off my chest once again. I'll leave you all with my inner thoughts of what I've said today. And with that, I will now say goodbye, good day, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!